We believe that God blessed us so that we can be a channel of blessings to others.
We made this channel so we can bless other people.
So there's baking, there's cooking, there's working out, there are dogs, our adventures, our travels. I'm Bettinna,
And I'm Gabby.
and this is
A Blessing Channel.
Hi! Welcome to A Blessing Channel by Bettinna Carlos. Baka nagtataka kayo bakit naka-Amerikana ako. Hindi naman ako American. No, because medyo serious yung topic today. Usapang negosyo tayo. So, minarapat ko lang na magsuot ng mas formal at mas angkop na kasuotan para sa talakayan natin. No. Today, I want to share with you my Homebiz story. So, it's the history of my home-based business and the story also of how God has shown His faithfulness in our lives through this business. Ang dasal ko is that this will serve as an encouragement for you, lalo na kung meron kang passion to start something pero wala kang educational background on that matter. Maybe you want to pursue business, maybe you want to start one because life is hard now, but you don't know where to start. I want you to know that I was in that same place 9 years ago, in 2011. Wala rin akong background on business. I just only had a hobby. I had a passion for baking, and I had a big God who made all things possible. So, I pray na ma-encourage kayo today to also jumpstart your own. The way I want to tell you about my business is through the products. Mula nung home-based pa ako, before Big Bites by ABC pa yung pangalan, to how God brought us to Sea Kitchen Reef, na isa ng kumpanya na mayroong store. This is our store. So we've been here for more than a year, for a year and a half. So, let's start with how I got into baking. So, it was in 2008 na nagsimula ako mag-bake. The only reason that I got into baking was because growing up, dahil kami merong pandesal sa breakfast table. Kahit meron kaming sinangag, may silog kami, hindi nawawala yan, pandesal tsaka kape, sausaw sa kape. I grew up with my grandparents. Yung lolo ko mahilig sa pandesal, sausaw, kape, tapos lagi pa siyang nakagalaw, kumakain siya. So yung amoy ng freshly baked na pandesal, yung mainit na mainit pa, tapos nasa brown bag, dala-dala ko yun hanggang lumaki ako. So in 2008, nabigyan ako ng baking book, and ang una kong tinry was bread. And I was so encouraged because unang subo ko pa lang, naging tinapay siya talaga. Kasi nakain ko siya. So para ako nainganyo na, mula harina, na naging dough, tapos nung na-bake, tinapay siya, hindi siya bato, nakain siya, buhay pa rin ako hanggang ngayon. So I was really so encouraged by that. Doon nag-start yung interest ko talaga to keep baking. It was in 2011 when that hobby turned into something profitable. When I already had kami at that time and I was a newly single parent, and hindi ako sure kung meron akong babalikan na career bilang artista. And kilala ko na yung Panginoon nun, at natuto na rin ako magdasal sa Kanya, at siya na rin yung dinudulugan ko at tinatanong ko sa mga question sa buhay. Parang, Lord, sana kami papunta ng anak ko, ano ko siya bubuhayin. Siyempre, yun naman yung concern ng mga single moms, di ba? Wala kang katuwang sa buhay. Pero, nung same year na rin na yun, na nakilala ko si Jesus, alam ko na meron akong partner in Him. Meron akong katuwang sa pagpapalaki sa anak ko. Meron akong partner at meron kaming provider. We have a good Heavenly Father na siyang, sinasabi niya na He will provide for all our needs. So, yun, sa Kanya ako nagtanong. And, one day in September 2011, nagising na lang ako na parang binulong ng malinaw sa puso ko na ang layo-layo naman ang tingin mo, Bettinna. bakit hindi ka tumingin sa bakuran mo? Ano ba yung ginagawa mo na mahusay ka na? At that time, hindi ako sobrang galing sa baking, pero confident na ako because of the many hours that I've been doing it. So, it was as if God was saying, hey, it's time to make money out of your very expensive hobby. Kasi kung ikaw ay baker sa bahay, alam mo na very expensive yung ingredients. At that time, parang binulong ng Diyos sa puso ko na it's time to make money out of that expensive hobby. And yun, parang nung narinig ko yun sa puso ko, dumire-diretso na lang. In a week's time, I was able to jumpstart my business. Baked Bites by ABC yung pangalan niya nun. And at the end of that week, I already started selling. My first two products were brownies, regular, and then eventually it became salted caramel brownies, and food for the gods. Perfect time din yun kasi magpapasko. Burr na! Eh di ba burr ang simula ng Pasko sa ating mga Pilipino. So it was really very timely. So how did that start? After hearing that from the Lord, na receiving that answer to my prayer, I moved to action. Parang, syempre meron akong fear because hindi naman ako business student. But you know what I learned? If you're very passionate about something, kayang-kaya mong gawa ng paraan. Especially if you couple it with prayers. That's what God did to me through my business. I only had faith. I didn't even have money. I had to borrow from my mom money. But I had so much faith that this is what God was giving us. The way that He could provide for us and through us is through this business. So, malinaw sa akin yun. Parang I had that complete faith that I could take on this business kahit wala akong background sa business. Inaral ko siya in a week's time. Niregister ko. And, yun. At the end of that week, I was already selling. Naalala ko yung unang box ng brownies na binenta ko sa kamadyong pa ng lola ko. At sila yung mga unang bumibili sa akin at sila yung mga suki. But how did I get the capital for that? Again, I didn't have work at that time. I was a newly single mom. And I had a mom who was with me, who was looking after Gummy, and me also because that was a vulnerable time. Nakahiwalay lang namin ng tatay ng anak ko. So, I had family to support me. And I remember borrowing money from my mom. I think I borrowed 5,000. Yeah, 5,000. Pangbili ng ingredients. Kasi gamit, meron na ako through the years of baking. I remember I just had a bowl, a whisk, an oven. May oven na ako noon. I had a good baking book. Yun yung parang baking Bible ko na tinuturing to this day. It's really a good source of reliable recipes na tried and tested na, and I just tweaked, depende sa panlasa, depende sa tamis. And also, I had faith. I really had faith. Yun yung lagi kong sinasabi sa mga students ko ng baking. Manalig ka. Hindi pwedeng you want to start something, you're working on something, you're doing something, tapos nagda-doubt ka. Don't expect that it will work out, right? That it will work. If you didn't believe, if you don't believe while you're doing it. So it's important that you really have faith. I believe that it was really my faith that was the most important and the crucial ingredient at that time, not just in baking, but in making actually a business out of my baking. So this one was my first product. Ilalapit ko. See? This is super moist brownies with salted caramel and rock salt. So, how did I decide on this brownie? Siguro a tip for those who will go into business, especially food. Again, wala akong background. Ginamit ko lang yung pananaw ko kung ako yung customer. Siyempre, nagdasal ako. Yun ang pinaka-importante. I really asked for wisdom from the Lord. Parang, Lord, paano ko ba start to? Ano ba yung bibenta ko? So, yun yung mga tanong ko. So, ang advice ko sa inyo, kung mag-iisip kayo ng ibibenta, tanungin niyo yung sarili niyo. Ito ba ibibilin ko? Bakit ko to bibilin? Ang dami-daming brownies dyan. Yun yung tanong ko sa sarili ko noon. So, when I released the brownies, meron akong money back guarantee na kung hindi siya moist, as in, kung hindi siya dumikit sa ngalang-ngala mo, papalitan ko ng isang dosenang box yung brownies mo for free. Kung hindi totoo yung claim ko. So, I had to add value to my product. Kasi ang dami-daming brownies dyan. Pero bakit yung brownies mo yung bibilin ko? Bakit yan yung tatangkinikin ko? Bakit yan yung kakainin ko? Diba? So, that one. Ayan. Here. Harap. Naalala ko tuloy yung time na yun na naalala ko nun. Months old pa lang si Gummy. 2011, she was 6 months old when I started Baked Bites by ABC. And I remember, siguro mga minimum 16 hours ako na nagtatrabaho sa kusina. Dati yung bahay namin sa Novaliches where we used to stay. Yung ground floor noon, naging kusina. Sa taas, yung bedroom. I would only go up to Gummy to feed her because I was breastfeeding her. And then, bababa ako, magtatrabaho ulit ako. And that went on for siguro mga 3 or 4 years. Ganun yung routine namin. Wala kaming helper noon. But my mom and my Wowa, sila yung katuwang ko talaga. Sila nag-aalaga kay Gummy. Si Wowa nagluluto para nakakakain ako, para masustansya pa rin kinakain ko because I breastfeed Gummy. Minsan, yung pagkain ko, iiwan na lang nila doon. Tapos after how many hours, tapos na yung previous meal time, hindi ko pa nakakain yung pagkain. Kasi tuloy-tuloy. Parang hindi ka pwedeng mag-stop dahil may either may madelay or may maghihintay na masyado matagal na batter, na hindi pwede. So, hindi pwede talaga ma-disrupt yung schedule, yung baking schedule. So, yun ang meron ako nung start. Now, after Christmas, syempre, usually, pag mga January, wala nang pera yung mga tao kasi ubus na ng Pasko. I was thinking of a new item to come up with. Ngayon, itong item na to, pangarap ko sa nung bata ako. Paborito ko yung Ferrero Rocher na chocolate, tsaka yung Mrs. Fields na cookies. So in my head, how can I put those two together? Kasi gusto ko yung flavor ng isa, gusto ko yung chewiness ng isa, how do I combine them? So I started making Nutella cookies kasi hazelnut yung base ng Ferrero. So iniisip ko paano pag-combine yung dalawang yon. Eh, nung pangatlong batch na, hindi ko pa rin siya makuha. Nayayamot na ako. Iniiyakan ko na yung siguro mga 50 pieces na cookies na nasa harap ko. And then, sa yamot ko, I got a piece of cookie. Nilagyan ko ng Nutella, sinakloban ko ng isa pa, tapos kinain ko. Tapos para akong nagka-eureka moment na, ito yung hinahanap ko, ito yung lasa na to. And then, that's when the Nutella Rock was born. It's Nutella cookies. They are 2 Nutella cookies glued together by your favorite hazelnut spread. Nakakamiss. Chocolate siguro ako sa iba. Yan. So, the Nutella Rock, milestone talaga siya sa business ko. Because, in a business, you should have one product that you should be known for. And for me, it was the Nutella Rock talaga. Sinali ko to sa iba't ibang taste tests, iba-ibang competitions. Nilako ko talaga sa mga food vlogger pa nung time na yun, wala pang video eh. And it was really well received. And I could say na binuhay talaga kami nitong Nutella na to. started with a Nutella Rock and then eventually other cookies na I paired it with. And you know, when I look back, I remember it was because of this product kaya ako nakapagsimula to resell in milk teas. May milk teas na dati, yung Moonleaf pa yun sa tapat ng condo namin sa Quezon City. And the one who approached the owner that time was my mom. Yung nanay ko, sobrang ma-PR niya. And I thank God for her kasi gift niya yun eh. Ako yung shy. Ako yung, huwag na ba, nakakahiya. Or baka hindi hiya, baka pride na parang, ito ko lalapit. Puntahan niyo ako kung kailangan niyo ng supplier, di ba? Pero you know, in business, you should really have a humble heart. Kailangan lagi kang ikaw yung nag-o-offer. So, dapat hindi ka mahihiya to reach out to people, to share your product to them. Because I don't think your pride will bring you anywhere good. So, that was the Nutella Rock. So, from home-based, na I was just selling online on Instagram, to ngayon na nagkaroon na ng Nutella Rock, I was able to sell in physical stores. So, I was supplying mga 2 or 3 different cafes and many branches. So, nasa Novaliches kami noon. Tapos, magbabagsak ako ng delivery sa Sergeant Esguerra. Tapos, meron sa BGC. Tapos, meron sa Makati. So, isipin mo kung gaano kalaya ako north to south talaga. Just for that. And you know, kahit grabe yung pagod tsaka puyat. Kasi syempre, kung sobrang layo mo, iisipin mo yung traffic. So, madaling araw pa lang, aalis ka na para yung bagsak mo, mabilis lang. Hindi ko naramdaman yung pagod na parang ayaw mo na. And I think that's why I really recommend you making a business out of something you're very, very passionate about. Whether it's a product or a service. Because yung sinasabi nila na you won't feel like working a day in your life, that's true. Yes, there will be times you feel burnt out physically, pero you'd always go back to it. And yeah, that's what Nutella Rock did for us. Because of the Nutella Rock, sobrang tinangkilik siya at that time. I remember, sa kusina na ako natutulog. Meron ako yung dining bench namin. Naglagay na ako doon ng unan. And I would sleep siguro average 3 hours per night lang. Pero hindi ko naramdaman na para akong zombie. I was so full of energy. I was still so full of joy. And I know it's because buong-buo yung puso ko nandun. More than the fact na alam kong kailangan namin. Pero nakakaengganyo yung mahal ng mga tao yung produkto mo. Na talagang may demand for it. And I remember that time, ang chant ko sa sarili ko, ang lagi kong nire-recite sa sarili ko was Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And before I really came to know the Lord, ang lagi kong inuulit sa sarili ko, kaya ko to, ginusto ko to, pinasok ko to, kaya ko to. Pero I noticed that as my business prospered, my relationship with the Lord also became even more intimate, mas lumalim. Kahit na madaling araw kailangan ako nagbibig, I really made it a point to wake up earlier than I should and spend time with God. Parang doon ako humuhugot ng lakas. Tsaka yung lakas niya, hindi mo alam saan galing. Parang hindi siya lakas ng tao. It's really a superpower. It's so supernatural na for me to be sustained, to be still so strong after how many years of baking for that long, ganun kadaming oras. And hindi lang naman yun yung trabaho ko. Eventually, I went back to acting also. So, may taping, after taping, uuwi pa ako sa kusina sa Novaliches. Pagka-bake, magliligpit, magde-deliver pa ako. Doon pala ako magpapahinga after. Until the next run of that stretch again. So, I could say it was really the Lord who did not just provide a business for us. He was also the one who gave me the strength. Kasi faithful siya, yun siya eh. God is faithful to supply what you need. So, God gave me the business. Alam mo, bibigyan niya ako ng business. Pero hindi niya bibigyan ng lakas. Hindi niya ako bibigyan ng kapital. Hindi niya ako bibigyan ng opportunity. So, I knew that everything I had then was from the Lord. Down to the last ounce of strength I would have. During those times na parang naduduling na ako sa pagod, sa dami ng kailangan gawin, I still had that full joy in my heart. So, that was the Nutella wrap. Now, fast forward to 2016, 17, mga around that time. Mga 2017, July 2017. You know how in business, after a while, parang either magpa-plateau ka o medyo lalaylay ka ng konti. That's why in business, especially with food, you need to constantly come up with new products, new promos, may pakulo ka. And it was in 2017 na medyo I was in that season na parang sabi nga nila matumal yung benta kasi pastries ako hindi naman ako necessity. So, I was thinking in my head, ano pa kayang bagong produkto pwede kong ilabas? And sa totoo lang, yung cakes, never ko siyang gustong ibenta. Dahil niisip ko pa lang yung sebo, yung hugasin, yung trabaho, because when you bake, pa siya sa gitna, i-layer mo pa, tatabasin mo pa siya, may frosting ka pa, may filling ka pa, may covering ka pa, may ganache ka pa, parang iniisip ko pa lang siya, ayoko na siyang gawin to sell because it's so laborious. So, ang resolve ko noon, I will only make cakes for Gummy once a year on her birthdays. But, alam mo, nakakatawa si God. Nung time na to, in 2017 na, I didn't know what to sell anymore. God told me, Sin, bakit di ka gumawa ng chocolate cake? Di ba mahilig ka sa chocolate cake? Favorite ko kasi yung chocolate cake ng isang famous na coffee shop. Hindi ko sasabihin na ng pangalan. Basta favorite ko yung chocolate cake niya. And then the inspiration came from that. But, again, ang thinking ko, why would they buy it? Ang dami-daming chocolate cake dyan. So, when I was developing the all-mine chocolate cake, how can I make it the chocolate cake na gusto mong sayo lang? As in, all yours. Ganon. Why don't I make a chocolate cake that's exactly how I want it? Diba? Parang, no? Sometimes I like milk chocolate, sometimes I like dark chocolate. Bakit di ko na lang siya pagsamahin? And so, the all-mine chocolate cake was born. It is dark chocolate cake layered with salted caramel filling, topped with one side milk ganache, calibo, the other side dark chocolate ganache, and finished off with toasted almond slivers para may crunch ka. And that was born. And that was also the time when usong-uso yung personalized lahat, customized lahat. So I opened it to that. Na, okay, I'll make your cake however you want it made. So, some people would request all milk, no nuts, all milk, pero walnuts. Yung iba naman, 1/4 milk, 3/4 dark. Yung iba, by thirds, may milk, may white, may dark. And then, iba-iba pa sila ng nuts. So, people love the idea. And I have to give credit to this because I didn't have a name for it. Ang gusto kong ipangalan was all yours. Pero sabi ni Gummy, why all yours? Dapat all mine. Isip ko nga, oo nga naman, first person point of view. So dapat all mine. It's so good you want it all mine. Tama? So, that's the all mine chocolate cake. And I'll show you. There. Tada! Look at that beauty! Whoop! Never ko yatang pagsasawaan itong chocolate. Honestly, when I was developing this, siguro sa isang linggo. No. Bawat araw sa isang linggo, 2 linggo, 3 times a day akong kumakain ng chocolate cake. Bakit? Ganun talaga ang research and development. Kailangan aaralin mo yung flavor combination, i-adjust mo kung matamis ba, masyado matamis, matabang, i-observe mo yung behavior titigas ba kapag ni-ref, at room temperature, gano'n siya katagal, okay. Things like that. So many things to consider. Titikman ko siya ng fresh out of the ref, papasit ko siya at room temp, tikman ko siya after maybe an hour, tapos titikman ko ulit siya at another time of the day to see the quality and the flavor. And then, yan. The All Mine really sustained my business for 2 years. 2016, 17, till 2018. Different products, you see, different products have different stories and they have different learnings also. So, anong natutunan ko sa All Mine? Minsan may mga bagay ka na nire-resist dahil lang tinatamad ka. Katamaran mo lang. Pero really, if you think hard about it, may opportunity talaga doon. Ayaw mo lang. But until your mind welcomes it, you will always reject it. And there was no one who could have convinced me more as powerful as God. Since I'm talaga na oh, bakit di ka gumawa ng All Mine, ng chocolate cake? Ayaw mo nga ng cake, God. Ano gumawa? Pero syempre, if business na yung pinag-uusapan at yung kabuhayan nyo na, won't you reconsider something you've been rejecting for so long? Fast forward to a year after selling All Mine, came the opportunity to move from home-based to a physical store. I was more than happy being at home. Wala ka nang magagawa kundi sunod. Pero alam mo, hindi lahat ng pagsasara at pagtatapos ay